Greetings of the end, contemplating the end. Wow, maybe that put us to sleep. Maybe that was the wrong music to choose. Maybe I made a mistake to use the Doors, the end, in that long drawn out beginning for the end. The beginning for the end, which is important. The beginning a lot of times determines the end. This is something that we can't get away from. We have fiscal conservative nuts. I rant on them because they are potentially the evilest, and some of them the dumbest. Some of them aren't dumb. They actually are evil, and they don't care about the results, and they know what the results will be if they can carry out their anti-government ways that they've been promoting, and a constitution, a Bill of Rights that says nothing about capitalism. There's no, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm willing to listen. I know you have the right to property, but that's not the same as capitalism. It doesn't say anything that you can about using your property to put everybody in debt and take everything. That's called a monopoly. Is there anything in the Constitution about a monopoly? No. Well, it's not a monopoly if it's a few rich people making it look like there's competition. Well, yeah and no. I don't think so. We've really, what was this rant? What did I come on here for? This is thoughts from the deep state. And, what triggered me to come on here and to talk? Well, seeing a post on Facebook about college tuition going up 1,000% since 78, shelter going up almost 400% in cost. Meanwhile, our pay going up a whopping 10% at best, and actually a fall of 5.5%. All so we can give all of these few super cool rich people who love themselves, particularly men, not just white men, but yeah, it's a lot of those guys. Okay, I can't hate those guys because I might get lumped in there somehow. But regardless of all that, spreading prosperity, giving people help, I just don't want to pay for it. That's what we continue to hear for. And I don't blame some of these people. They're in misery, and the only way they can get out of their misery is the hopes of kicking the shit out of somebody beneath them. I've met people like this. Some of them are very smart people, and they actually just kick the shit out of the poor people below them in the way they talk, in the way they perceive the poor people, because and they'll even tell you, I feel like I'm a nobody. At least I feel better when I see other people fail. I mean, we are flawed. I don't think that way. That's why I consider myself a complete foreigner to this country in some regards. Maybe this planet. It's nothing against the United States. Maybe this is a world thing. To have to see other people fail so you feel good about yourself, man, let me say, I hope you jump off a building. I mean, if you cannot feel good about yourself unless you see other people fail, and they must fail, they must even be cheated of the victory they deserve so they can fail to make you happy. I hope you jump off a fucking building. Yeah, it's mean. Again, these are the fiscal and a lot of these people I talk to that think this way are fiscal conservative nuts. They're always worried about my tax money's paying for these welfare people, and these idiots are going to college and they don't learn, and they don't even know a lot of the things they're supposing. Do you have a statistic for that? Or I get a phone call from a fiscal conservative right-wing nut who says he sees people walking around the mall with their welfare babies, and I'm sick of paying for their $100 tennis shoes. What the fuck? How do you know this? How do you know it? How do you know they didn't get money some other way? Maybe through some illicit means of drug dealing. Maybe they got a job. Maybe they're more wealthier than you thought, and maybe not. I don't know. I mean, everybody's what do we got? A country now of a bunch of drug dealers and drug users, and our country has to import 50 to 75% of our graduate students in the whole damn country from other countries. And we're actually getting, sometimes the elite are so smart they can get away with pushing Americans out, and they know there will be no complaint from fellow Americans because we hate each other. We would rather beat up on people below us, like the Mexican who comes across the border who's dirt poor. But anybody that's above us, my God, we revere them. I guess there's something good in that if you're rich. But if you're fighting among the masses, people just kind of freaking hate each other. You got to get away from it. You can't listen to all the dumb shit. And this is again thoughts from the thoughts from the deep state. What do I want to get out of this rant? It's time for people, instead of blaming college professors and students for all the problems, to go after these college administrators who make way too much money, the presidents who are making way too much money. They got these grandiose legacy schemes of increasing the sizes of colleges, which is wonderful, but can't do anything to help students with their debt. We got a job stagnation where you got to be super educated now to get a job that pays you above minimum wage. That seems to be the thinking process. And a lot of people they're tuning out. It's just too much. There's too much information out there. There's too much coming at them, and they don't know where to start. Well, I'll tell you where to start. Say no. Say no. That's where you need to start. Say no. Say no to the bullshit. Say no to a rich person. Don't just say no to a poor person. Don't just abuse somebody that's below you. Have the guts to stand up to someone with some power and form groups. Form groups that follow the law and are not, going to commit crimes. But hey, stand up for what you believe in and do it, And this is really the end of this talk. And short soundbite signing off. Later.